I'm not saying there's nobody out right now that's good, because you're out. Stan Ipkiss is out. There's a lot of good people out there that's making good music. You know what I'm saying? So we're not going to say everybody out now is hard.
Nah, word.
That's bullshit. And anybody know heritage hip hop, that's bullshit. Now, let's go into you a little bit. And we're gonna stick to the overall hip hop theme.
Okay.
But we're gonna funnel it down into you. So we're gonna start wide. Today's era of hip hop is going back to the one producer album. I read an article that said Illmatic is the beginning of the downfall of hip hop. And it said so because Illmatic, the person eloquently put that Illmatic was the album that started the super producer. So everybody had to rank it. This beat from guy, this beat from a guy, this beat from a guy, this beat from a guy, to try to catch the Illmatic wave. And a lot of people could not do it. Today now, you have people wanting to do albums with Ninth Wonder, Ill Mind, Apollo Brown. And with the reckoning and rehashing, the resetting of committing to sound before you put out your art, I think hip hop is getting back to finding its own voice. What do you see as the advantage of working with one producer rather than working with a team of producers? Besides, going broke.
Working with a team of producers can be fun, but you might have an album that's maybe not so consistent, just because everyone's giving you something, that they want to give you the hardest beat, but maybe it's not making sense for the album, so to speak. Versus when you're working with a producer, you can kind of develop a sound and kind of like just how it's gonna be, so it flows cohesively. You know what I mean? The whole album and pieces of music on there. But I think there's advantages to both, and like I said, it's fun having a bunch of producers that you like. You know what I mean? Just throwing you beats, putting them together, make some kind of album. But I think even for myself right now, I like working with individual artists and taking the time to really sit down and craft something special for that album. You know what I mean? Like when I'm doing a record right now with Fatboy, me and him are creating something that's special for what fits me and him. You know what I mean? And an album I'm working on with Sidetrack, it's totally different. You know what I mean? It's something that fits what me and him got going on. So, like I said, it's got its advantages and disadvantages.
That's the question I ask all producers, and they give me the same answer. I want to see if you give me the same answer. How do you find the sound for an artist?
Me, I listen to a lot of their past work, and sometimes I don't even care about what they've done. I don't care. You're working with me now, and this is what I bring to the table. So I want to bring out the best in you over what I can do. You know what I mean? Whatever you did with so and so, that's with so and so. When you're working with A Sharp, we're gonna do something totally different. So it's trial and error until you start developing what you like. And me, I like making beats on the spot. Like when you come into the studio, I don't got a beat. I'm just gonna start making something. So, and I feel from that organic experience and that organic session that we having, I feel like the creativity tends to be a lot greater, and it's the song tends to take off a little bit more. You get a different vibe.
Yeah, like I said, everybody's the same.
Everybody.
It's like I don't. It happens when we get there. I need something to be exactly. Which is amazing because that's what makes music and hip hop dope. It's not scripted.
Yes.
I always say hip hop is very organic.
Yeah, it's spontaneous.
I mean, who went to their house one day and said, "Yeah, I'm gonna say this 2 years ago." A friend of mine, like that. Not the words, the tempo.
Right.
Or how about this? Everybody knows this. Yes, y'all. To the beat, y'all. You don't write that down.
That's just what's coming out right then and there, and that's the beauty of hip hop. That's the beauty of music, is that spontaneous moment, and that feeling. You know what I mean? And what you captured right then and there.
Yeah, hip hop is a feeling.
Yes.
And like I said, I had this argument in college. So when you ask how long I've been asking questions, but I had an argument in college with my friend, and he said, you know, Jay-Z's his favorite rapper, Jay-Z's the best rapper of all time. I said, cool. I don't agree. I think he's one of the most. I think he's above hip hop now. So it's not even. This is not even relevant. Right. But I said, okay, what makes Jay-Z the best rapper ever to you?
Yeah.
He said he made a classic album. I said, is that all that it takes to be the greatest of all time is a classic album? He said, yes. Reasonable Doubt is a classic. It's a classic album. I don't care if he made any albums that weren't classics. It's a classic album, so he's one of the best because he has a classic album. I said, okay. Old Dirty Bastard has a classic album. Is he one of the greatest of all time? But nah, you can't say that. I'm like, no, I'm going by your argument.
Right.
So let's just suppose we're just gonna say it on that level. So now it kind of opened us up both to see different spectrum of your fans, man. It opened us up to see different spectrums and appreciation of MC. How does that camaraderie or discussion open up to producers?
Wait, repeat the question again.
It's like when it comes to rappers, people will decide who's the greatest off of a classic album.
Okay.
How about with producers? How does that entail with them?
A classic album, I guess, from a producer's point of view, is it's just going to be in your production. Mm-hmm. I feel albums are. When I call an album dope, it was based mostly on the production, you know? And if I didn't like an album, it was probably because the production was lackluster and it didn't hit. So, yeah.
Let's look at a person in hip hop who's infamous right now. How did you like the Kanye and Nas album? Well, not album. It was actually one album. It was a project. How did you like that?
I don't know. I don't want to totally bash it. No. I like some songs. Some songs were good.
The reason why I bring that up is because, like we talk about people stealing their souls from their art, and sometimes when we force things, it's like the worst feeling in the world. It's like getting drunk and trying to have sex. It's like the worst thing. Yes. It's like either one's gonna win out or the other one. You might pass out, or you might start and go to sleep in the middle. Like it doesn't have that fulfillment.
Word.
And that's what I wanted to ask you as being a person who's been around music. A lot of people force the genre, and that's why it sounds so bad. When people say, you have to do this, make a song for the club, make a song for the girl, make a song for the hood, make a song for this, instead of just making what's in their soul, that just, I don't know, it gives you an empty feeling as the listener.
Yeah.
And it should as the creator. As a producer, and I'm not saying that you've seen this happen to you personally, what is it like to produce or to create, and then you see the reaction of people and they miss it? They don't feel what you feel. Has that ever happened? Have you ever seen that happen to somebody?
Yeah. I mean, you know, you put your all into. I mean, being an artist, you never really know what you're making. You know what I mean? Whether people are gonna like it or hate it. You hope people like it. But yeah, sure. People make music all the time, and you know they probably think it's the best thing in the world. You know what I mean? Oh, this new album, this new sound I got. Mm-hmm. And then a lot of people hear it and they're like, I liked your older stuff better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's so hard. Because you know what? I'm going to say something to you, and I don't know if you disagree, but this is the point why we're talking. I think music is the mother of mental illness. I'm going to tell you why. To be a mentally ill person means that you're unstable and misunderstood. I think music is misunderstood, and it's definitely not stable because we have genres. Right. Music has different personalities.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard when I hear Jay Dilla sent Jay-Z 5 beats for the Black album, and Jay-Z said they're all lazy. I don't want none of these.
Yeah.
Yet, you hear Jay Dilla with Busta Rhymes, it's like the most incredible joint you've ever heard.
Right.
And everybody's soul doesn't match the same drum pattern. So how much of a crapshoot is it to be creative in music, and how big is the hit when it hits to people or the masses?
Yeah. If you make a hit record, you know what I mean. It's all a crapshoot. You never know. You never know what you're gonna make. I mean, you might yourself hear it and be like, "Yo, this shit is dope," but you know, if it's gonna take off like how you want, who knows? But yeah, but you know, even working with everyone, everyone's on their own tune. You know what I mean? So yeah, Jay-Z said, you know, these Jay Dilla beats, they're lazy, whatever. But you know, I'd rather work with you know, Young Guru, whatever. It's all what you're feeling at the time. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a vibe. But yeah, man, you never know. You never know.
It's hard. And that goes back into what you said earlier, like when you're creating with Fat Boy or Sidetrack or Axel J. Foley.
Foley, yeah. I mean, way different. It's way different than anything I've ever done in that, so to speak. But that's Foley, you know what I mean? That's working with an artist. I'm trying to match what he's got going on. You know what I mean? So. And I just like music, man. So I'm always gonna try to chameleon into whatever situation I can do. If it's forced, it could be forced, but that's just making music. It's like, you know, DJ Premier doing a song with like Elton John or something. You know what I mean?
That would actually be dope.
That'd be crazy, right?
That would be dope. That would be dope. And the thing about not being forced but being meticulous.
Yeah.
Look at the Lion King soundtrack. I think the Lion King soundtrack is one of the best soundtracks in movie history.
Word.
Be
Word. No,
is like,
I killed that shit.
I mean, when you let's take it back. Like I said, hip hop is so encompassing now. It's everywhere. You got them playing 50 Cent in damn Toyota commercials.
Yeah. No, you're right.
WNBA and them, ESPN is playing. You go to ESPN Radio, Stephen A. Smith, they're playing.
You'll hear like Gangstar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Watch the drummers on there. Hip hop is so encompassing. So I ask you this as a person who creates music: what is the payoff personally to the music when you hear it and you hear the expression of the artist, or when you see the expression in video form? What's bigger for you?
For me, the natural process is bigger because that's when we're creating the video. The video is a dick pic. I can't even think of the word, but it's a mimic of what we came up with. You know what I mean? The video is dope. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but the memory is always gonna be that session where we came up with that song. You know what I mean? From everything, from the moment a person gets in the booth to the minute I touch a pad on the MPC.
So, tell me how it feels when somebody hears a beat and they can't stop moving because they're excited. What is that like?
Oh, I love that feeling because that gets me excited. You know what I mean?
Yo, ladies, man. But yeah.
No, that shit excites me, man, and that's why I do it. You know what I mean? I don't think any amount of money could be greater than that feeling. You know what I mean? When you're ultimately impressing somebody with your art, to me that's a great feeling. You know what I mean? When people are like really understanding what you did, and you're like, yes, you understand it. You know what I mean? You're feeling what I made. That's why I do it, man. You know, we're not making millions here.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Jersey gonna get there.
No. Jersey's on a roll right now, man. There's a lot of fresh artists coming out of Jersey, man. I wish more people would just be tuned in slowly but surely. But we'll have our rise again, man.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
Because I already know what's about to happen. That's a Heritage Hip Hop exclusive.
Hey.
Right? But I'm gonna ask you this though. I mean, let's party a little bit. We talked about the feel of it. Let's not party yet. Let's get a little serious. As a musician, you have a very big responsibility. Because music, like I said, music is what birthed mental illness in me. Because music can make you crazy, it can make somebody sexy, and it can also turn somebody off to another person. Music can make you enjoy your setting. Think about this. Music is so spiritual that when you go to a club, there's no windows. And they make it dark on purpose. And they play music to get your body to move.
Yeah.
And they also make you move to buy alcohol. So music is the key to everything that goes on in the building with no windows.
Yeah.
Music runs the strip club. Music runs social gatherings. It runs television, movies. Music runs the phone company.
Yes.
How serious is it for you to know that whatever you make, you impact the world ear by ear, no matter what you do?
It's a huge responsibility. You know, you hope everyone gravitates to it in a positive way, and you know, no one takes any negative from it, and does any something negative from your music. But yeah, you know what I mean. And I know, you know, like you said, certain settings, there's music. It might make you mad. It might make you happy. You know, you might hear a song and, you know, you see a girl walking down the street and you're like, damn, like
she got that much juice.
you know what I mean? That made her that much more sexier than she already is.
Yeah.
So, you know, it definitely influences a lot of life, of people's lives, every day, every second. So it's huge, man. It's a huge responsibility being an artist.